Keenan Allen. We saw this yesterday, and I think we knew. We knew, right? Like, most of us knew. But Keenan Allen officially, I would say you can say officially gone. Saw this yesterday on Twitter. The number 13 has been given away to, and I'm trying
is that to Olamide?
I believe Olamide Zaccheaus is going to be no, I'm sorry, Maurice Alexander.
Oh, okay.
Is going to be wearing the number 13.
Right.
And so Keenan Allen here, because there's no way that what are Maurice Alexander's numbers last year there, Jordan Jason?
He had 0 receptions and 0 yards, and I don't know.
Exactly. Dwight Fred said his
Oh, that's hilarious.
Coming out. Hooray, Avila.
That's hilarious.
Shut up.
Maurice
Alexander will now be wearing the number 13 for the Chicago Bears, which all but confirms that Keenan Allen is gone. And I mean, listen, I knew the Bears weren't going to bring him back, and I wasn't expecting them to. I think you want that 4th round pick back for the compensatory pick. How would you describe the Keenan Allen time here in Chicago?
I mean, it was serviceable. That would be the perfect word I would give for it. Serviceable. He did what he was supposed to do coming here in a I would say a twilight year, in a sense where you kind of know Keenan Allen was going to be like that safety net for you. You already had your number 1 receiver in DJ Moore. You had an up-and-coming rookie receiver in Rome Odunze that you're going to rely heavily on, that connects with Caleb. And so Keenan Allen was going to be that, maybe red zone threat, the 3rd down guy that you go to that's reliable, somebody that obviously would be a good mentor for these receivers as well, a good locker room presence. And so that's what he kind of gave you. There were spots where you saw Keenan Allen, do what he was supposed to do and dominate like the old Keenan Allen. I believe the Jacksonville Jaguar game, he had 3 touchdowns. And that game when they went to London, right? I want to say he had 3 touchdowns that game.
DJ Moore,
that was probably his best game. Him and Cole that game dominated. I want to say 3.
That's tough if he had 3. I got to pull up the keep going. I got to pull up
but anyway, I mean, you do love Keenan Allen for what he did. I mean, you didn't expect a whole lot. I mean, everybody thought, okay, well, he's coming off of a 1,300 yard season with the Chargers, so you might have thought maybe he would get to that.
4 touchdown day in Jacksonville.
4
touchdown day in Jacksonville.
Okay, 4 touchdowns.
No, I'm sorry. That was the Bears as a whole. You're right. 3 touchdown day in Jacksonville. Yes,
for him.
For him,
okay, so again, he gave you what you thought he would give you. I believe close to maybe 600, 700 yards. That's what you expected, being in that wide receiver 3 role. And so I loved his time here. And again, farewell going back to probably where he started things in LA. From what we're hearing as far as rumors, and moving on.
Listen, I will say this, and I do think he ends up back in LA. The Keenan Allen time here was woefully underwhelming.
Really? Wow.
Listen, because the thing was, you thought that this offense was going to hit the ground running. Now, it was underwhelming for, I think, more reasons than just Keenan Allen. There were times where Caleb Williams was overthrowing guys. There were times where Keenan Allen dropped the football in the end zone wide open, right? There were times where the offensive line was just dead, and so it didn't matter who was playing wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. To me, I felt like Keenan Allen was coming in not to be wide receiver 3, to be wide receiver 2. I felt like Keenan Allen was coming in to be that safety blanket, to be that guy who was going to continually move the change, to be that guy who was going to – you didn't expect all 3 Bears wide receivers to be sub 1,000 yards coming out of this season. No, the Keenan Allen experience was underwhelming, but it didn't hurt because you basically – the only thing I'll say that I feel was beneficial from it was when Keenan kind of got in that groove and got healthy, and you could tell there were those moments where you could tell that Caleb was his guy, right? Where Caleb's like, all right, bet I don't know where to Keenan. Boom, go to football. And that comfort level for a quarterback in year one, especially a quarterback who was under as much pressure as Caleb was under the entire season, having that guy essentially be the number one guy last season, I do think made Caleb feel a little bit more comfortable at times, and comfort is something Caleb Williams was not afforded last season. So if anything, I do like him for that role. But what we saw to Keenan Allen last season was not what we expected. Like, I expected Keenan Allen to still be 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, in 17 games. Now, granted, he didn't play 17 games, but in 17 games, 1,000 yards is 58 yards a game. Like, that's not too much to ask for Keenan Allen.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little different here because I guess going in, my expectations were kind of low because you already had your two guys in front of him. And so my thought was, well, realistically, you're not going to have the season you had previously, even if you have the capability of it. But then as the season went along, you saw some of the things that just kind of worked against them. They kind of got their offense going a little too slow into the season. He didn't utilize Keenan Allen as many times, and then there were times where Keenan Allen did drop the ball. That was my only issue with Keenan Allen. Was there were some times where he kind of had stone hands, and it was a little surprising for him.
The first touchdown of the season should have went to Keenan Allen.
It should have went to Keenan Allen. So I agree that there were moments where it's like, whoa, Keenan Allen is Keenan Allen. Why is he dropping balls? But at the end of the day, I expected him to kind of put up the stat line, or at least close to the stat line that he had. Because there were other players in front of him. Now, if you brought him and put him on a team where there was no talent, no receivers, no threats to catch balls, then I would expect more. But I guess for me, wide receiver 3, I would say, okay, no matter who you're bringing into that role, if they give you 6 touchdowns in a season, 700 to 800 yards, to me, that's a job well done. I wouldn't call it underwhelming because overall, I feel like he did more of his job than not. But I don't know.
I don't think Keenan was wide receiver 3, though. You said that a couple of times. Like, I don't think Keenan was wide. Like, I think we clearly thought he was wide receiver 2 coming in.
Rome kind of took off at the end of the season. I feel like Caleb relied on Rome in those clutch moments when he needed to go to somebody, and it kind of went away from Keenan. Like,
that's after Keenan had been dropping the football all over the place. I go away from him too.
Well, I guess that's what I'm overlooking. Yeah, I don't know. I guess underwhelming just seems a little too harsh to me. I like, if we're grading it, C plus.
Yeah, I give Crimson this one. Crimson usually be just going hard, but not for $20 million
a fourth. Yeah, I mean, you can't deny the contract.
You get the fourth back, though. You get the fourth back, though. I think that is Keenan Allen started. How is he wide receiver 3? Because there's 3 wide receivers on the field.
Yeah. Trapper Keeper, I don't know about that one, brother.
We didn't have a lot of chipping blockers in there, unfortunately, for Caleb Williams. There wasn't a lot of help on the offensive line. We were running 3 wide receivers on the field. Rome, Keenan, and DJ were on the field a lot.
Shut up, bro. Listen, Mo. You said 4th down was Rome time. That's what I'm saying. Like, Caleb gave it to him a million times in those moments where they needed to get the first down. It was like he started to gain that trust, I believe, more with Rome in the latter part of the season, and that's why it made me feel like Rome took over that wide receiver 2 role, which you kind of thought was going to happen eventually because of his talent level. But you know, maybe that's just me. I don't know. Keenan did what I thought he did. You know, he give him a pass grade.
Hey, I tell you what, Keenan, let that hair go. I remember that. That was crazy work, bro. That was crazy work. Thank you for all your contributions here in Chicago, Keenan Allen.
Shout out Keenan Allen, yeah.
Hopefully LA works out for you a little bit better than things worked out here, because Chargers look good, actually. I like what I'm saying from the Chargers. By the way, Jordan JC, over 100 over 200 in that shit. Over 300 in that shit.
Good morning.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. 227 on the YouTube side. Let's get 227 likes on the video. 79 on the Twitter side, man. Retweet this mug, man. Retweet.
Yes,
Share this up to your mama. What Ringo used to say, tell your mama to tell your mama.
By the way, shout out real quick. I do want to give a shout out. I didn't even realize this. A couple of these guys were in there live with me as I was watching 1920 Football Drive. Want to say shout out to Bulls Daily. I didn't actually reach out to you during the I was talking to King Booker World and Relentless Mikey. So shout out to you guys, man. While you all were in the chat.
They football junkies.
Caught alive, man. Yeah, they were going nuts.
That's cocaine right there for Bears fans. 1920 Football Drive. That's cocaine right there for Bears. McMuffin said, "My mama does not have a Twitter. Send it to her on YouTube. Then everybody's got YouTube. Just send her a message. Say, watch this. Push the like button and enjoy the content."
Exactly.